Okay, welcome to our TestOut Experience Conference Activities webinar. We are really excited to be with you today. My name is Carolyn Landon. I am the event director here at TestOut. I have been doing that for about 10 years. And we are thrilled with the things that we have planned for our conference this summer. We're looking forward to meeting you and your families. I'm here with Dan and Brooke Wheeler, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves now.
Hi, I'm Dan Wheeler. I've been associated with TestOut conferences for a number of years. And it's always fun to have people come to these conferences. I just think that the conferences are exception. And this year, I'm privileged enough to work with my daughter, Brooke, on the conference.
Yeah, my name's Brooke. I'm excited. This will be my first TestOut Experience conference. I'm really excited to meet all of you and to take you out on some of Utah's fun excursions. I've grown up in Utah my whole life, love living here, and love experiencing what Utah has to offer. In this webinar, we're going to cover how to get from the airport to the hotel, the welcome dinner, the daily schedule, so what you can expect each day, the different morning activities, the options that we'll have for afternoon activities, and then what you need to be prepared to bring.
Okay, as you're arriving for the conference, a lot of you will be flying into Salt Lake, coming into the airport. Excuse me, I am fighting a little bit of a cold. If I cough, please forgive me for that. Getting from the airport to the hotel, you have a few different options. One of the easiest is to use the light rail system. Here in Utah, we call that tracks. You'll take the Green Line tracks from the airport. It will take you to the Gallivan Center Station, which is right in downtown Salt Lake City. It's on the same block as the hotel. So you'll get off at Gallivan and then just cross the block. You'll be right there at the back of the hotel, and someone will be there to let you in, and you can check in at that point. A couple of other options would be Uber or Lyft. They can get you right downtown as well. If you are driving from the airport and you plan on leaving a car there at the hotel during the conference, please be aware that the bridge that will take you to I-80, Interstate 80, from the airport is going to be closed. And so what you'll need to do is take I-80 westbound, go up to the next exit, which is 5600 West, and then just turn around on I-80, and then you'll be heading east. But that will allow you to avoid that bridge, so you don't have to worry about getting out of the airport. If you choose to take tracks, the light rail system, that will take you about 40 minutes. Of course, it depends on the time of day and the traffic, but that's pretty much average. It's $2.50 a person to use tracks. Looking at this, you can see just some of the basic schedule. That first day, Tuesday, when you arrive, we will have a welcome dinner for you that starts at 6 o'clock. That's on the second floor of the hotel. That's going to be a lot of fun. We'd like you to be there at 6 o'clock if you can. We will have a conference kickoff at that point. We have some gifts for you. There'll be delicious food. You'll get to meet the other conference attendees and their families. We'll have a lot of fun doing that. And then starting the next day on Wednesday is just our regular conference schedule. Breakfast will be served there, also on the second floor of the hotel, beginning at 6 a.m. That will go till 8:30. If your family wants to have breakfast a little bit later than you, they can come later. The sessions will start about 8 o'clock. They'll go from 8 to noon. Excuse me. And then after that, lunch will be available from 12 to 2. We'll have demos and open labs going in the afternoon. They will overlap with lunch a little bit. And then our afternoon activities, excuse me again, our afternoon activities will begin at 2:30. That's when we'll be leaving the hotel. Buses will be there to take you on some great afternoon activities. Okay, our options for the morning are, we've got several great ones. First of all, Antelope Island, the Museum of Natural Curiosity at Thanksgiving Point. We're also going to be taking some hikes in beautiful canyons of Utah. You can take a walking tour of Temple Square right in downtown. And then we have another tour of Salt Lake on a trolley that's about 90 minutes long. And we'll talk about each of those activities now.
Great, and on each of these there will be snacks, water, and we'll have a medical person on each of the tours. Just so you guys are aware and can just know what to expect. So the first activity we're going to talk about is Antelope Island. It is a great one.
Yeah. Fun activity.
Antelope Island is an island located in the Great Salt Lake. It's connected to the mainland by a causeway, which is just a 2-lane road. On the island, you'll have the opportunity to see buffalo or bison, antelope, rabbits, deer, and a variety of other birds. The main thing that we'll be doing there is riding e-bikes or electronic bikes. In order to ride these, you'll have to be at least 5 feet tall. Youth need to be accompanied by an adult, and there won't be any carriers on the bikes. It's only single rider bikes. We did this a couple weeks ago with some of our TestOut employees, and we had a lot of fun. I don't have a lot of leg strength, so this was awesome to be on these e-bikes because you could just crank up the speed when you went up the hill, and it made it so easy and just enjoyable. So we'll go on this bike tour. We'll have an awesome guide with us. He'll stop at a few different points, talk about the island, some of the features, some of the history of the island. You'll have the opportunity to take lots of pictures, and then we'll go on a short hike to Buffalo Point, which has an incredible view of the lake. After our bike ride, we will stop at a place where you can dip your toes in Salt Lake. It is quite shallow there, but you can walk out for a little ways, just feel the water, cool off a little bit. And then afterwards, we're going to have a delicious lunch at a local grill where we can have a buffalo burger, a regular burger, a chicken sandwich. There's a few different options that we'll let you pick from.
A few things to be aware of with Antelope Island. It is a spectacular place. The bus will be leaving the hotel about 8:30 in the morning, and will leave the island after lunch at about 12:30. But because there's the bison or buffalo there that are free ranging, you want to be careful and keep your distance. These animals are wild. You don't have to be too concerned unless you're too close to one. And so just be aware you need to keep about 150 feet between you and the bison. Don't approach them, even though they look fun and fluffy. They can be cantankerous, and you have to be aware of that. Make sure to wear closed-toed shoes, no flip-flops or sandals of any kind, as you'll be riding the bike and hiking. If you do decide to get your feet wet in the Salt Lake, there are showers provided so you can rinse off. I think that covers it for Antelope Island, doesn't it?
Well, I like the description of the fluffy buffalo.
Fluffy buffalo. They're not very nice. No.
Fun to look at, not fun to encounter.
They are pretty amazing to see. Our second option for morning activities is to the Museum of Natural Curiosity. This is located at Thanksgiving Point, which is just south of Salt Lake City. This is an amazing place, and your kids will absolutely love it. I guarantee it. There are so many different things to do. It's full of science experiments and touch and feel and so many different things. They have a rainforest area that you can explore. They've got waterworks, which you don't even realize that you're actually learning things while you're playing with all of the things to do in the waterworks area. One of my favorite places is called Kidopolis, which is a town built to the size of children. There are so many different things to explore there. This will just be a lot of fun. There's also the Discovery Garden, and you really want to try that. There's lots of outdoor things to do and climb and participate in out there as well. We'll be leaving the hotel about 9:30. The museum opens at 10. We'll be there for a couple of hours, and we'll have lunch down there as well before we return to the hotel to get ready for the afternoon activities. This is not just for little children. There's lots of things even for teenagers to enjoy at this museum. It'll be a great time.
Yeah, this one's really fun. I've just wandered around it once or twice, and I really enjoy. It looks like a way fun thing for all ages. We have a couple of options for hikes in the canyons. We have had quite a heavy snowfall this year, so we haven't nailed down what hikes we're going to be doing yet. But some of our options include Albion Basin to look at some beautiful wildflowers, Donut Falls, Secret Lake, and Silver Lake, which has a boardwalk around the lake. It's really good for young children or those that have disabilities or those that just want a more casual, relaxing experience out in nature. Some of the hikes might be kind of muddy. We've had such a cool spring that it depends on how June is, whether or not we'll be able to do certain hikes. But these are some of our ideas and some of our options, and wherever we go, we will have a beautiful Utah experience. Some things that you'll need are good hiking shoes, and then that can get muddy, and also a jacket. It is quite chilly up in the mountains, especially if we're going in the morning. The plan is to leave the hotel around 8:30 or 9 in the morning.
Keep in mind with the elevation, we'll be up at about 8, 9, 10,000 feet. The air is thinner there, a little harder for some people to breathe that thin air. Also, you're more prone to sunburn because of the higher elevation and thinner air. So you want to make sure that as Brooke mentioned, you bring good hiking shoes and a jacket. We may encounter some mud. It won't be deep mud, but obviously we don't want you to ruin any good shoes that you have. I think that's pretty much it.
And wildlife, there's a possibility of seeing wildlife
up there. Oh, that's true. Yeah, we typically see a moose or two up there. We'll put an order in with the people and see if we can have a moose delivered so you can see it. I don't know if they'll come through on that or not.
They're almost as impressive as bison.
Yeah. And then they're cantankerous too. Moose and bison all have attitude, so you want to keep your distance.
We do have some nice animals.
Yeah, the antelope. Yeah.
Okay, our next option for a morning excursion is a walking tour of Temple Square. Temple Square is the headquarters of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and it is the top tourist attraction in Utah. So we wanted to give you an opportunity to go around Temple Square if you'd like. We will leave the hotel about 9:30. Temple Square is right in downtown, so we're only a couple of blocks away from the hotel. So we'll walk up to Temple Square, those 2 blocks. We'll take a tour that begins at 10 o'clock there. You'll see some of the buildings, the Tabernacle, the Salt Lake Temple, the Assembly Hall. You can see pictures of those here on the slide. That tour lasts about 45 minutes, and after that time, we'll go to the Lion House, which you can see in the center top on the left center side. That's the Beehive House and the Lion House. The Lion House has been turned into a restaurant. It was Brigham Young's home, and we'll go there for an early lunch about 11 o'clock. Once we have lunch, we'll head back over to the square and go to the Tabernacle. Every day at noon, they have an organ recital, and we want you to be able to enjoy that. That organ is world famous. It's great to listen to, and that will be a really good experience and a neat thing to hear. That will last for about 30 minutes. And so about 12:30, you're welcome to walk back to the hotel. We will have TestOut employees there to go around that with you, but you can also choose to stay, hang out on Temple Square. There's lots to see and do. There's beautiful flower gardens. The Family History Library is just across the street. They've got lots of great activities to learn about your family history. There's just a lot of things to see and do up there. Please be back to the hotel by 1:30 or 2, because we do want to leave for our afternoon excursions by 2:30. So that'll be a great time.
Sounds good. The other option you'll have is on Tuesday. You'll be able to take a trolley tour of downtown Salt Lake. I think you'll see it on the screen there, the lower left corner picture of the trolley, the red trolley there. Anyway, that's a 90-minute tour that'll take you around the sites in Salt Lake. You'll see different buildings, and the hosts of the trolley will give you historic information as well as point out the different buildings to see.
And they tell fun stories about
it
those
is
too.
It's a fun time. They'll actually have some snacks there for you as well. But people will enjoy that. There'll be a few stops where you can get out and stretch your legs and take some pictures. Also, they'll stop at the Cathedral of Madeleine there, which you see in the upper left corner. It has beautiful stained glass windows. There'll be a stop at the Union Pacific Station for some pictures, as well as the state capitol. That's a fun time. And if you decide you want to go and you just want to sit on the bus and relax, the trolley and relax, that's permissible as well. I think on that we're doing that on Tuesday at 4, and you'll be back by 5:30 in time for dinner. And then each day on Wednesday and Thursday morning at 10, they'll be available as well. So come and enjoy the trolley tour.
So that wraps up our morning activities. For the afternoon, we have two different activities that we'll be doing. On Wednesday, we're going to go to the Utah Olympic Park, and on Thursday evening, we'll be going to This Is the Place Heritage Park.
Well, Olympic Park's just spectacular. As you may know, Salt Lake City hosted the Olympics a number of years ago, and they still have the Olympic Park where the Olympians, the U.S. ski team, still practice. And we'll be going up there to enjoy the facilities and the different activities. There's the option to ride the bobsled course. With that, you do have to be 16 years or older. And I might point out that you'll experience some G-forces there. So if you're subject to neck or head problems, you might want to consider not doing that. But it's a fun time if you're in good shape. There's also the ropes course, different tubing courses. I think there's 2 zip lines up there for different levels, comfort levels of fear. drop tower, airbag jump, and then the scenic chairlift. It's just a great place for the entire family. There'll be snacks and water provided throughout the day, and then we'll have dinner at 7. And after dinner, there's just a spectacular show which TestOut is hosting called the Flying Aces. These are some acrobats who ski down a slope or an incline and do some aerial twists and turns and land in the pool of water. You can see it there on the upper right. Just a fun time. That'll start about 9 or 9:30. Afterwards, and I think that lasts about 30 minutes. Afterwards, there'll be some fireworks, and the show is over about 10:30, quarter to 11. People will be able to get on the bus and get back to Salt Lake. If you want to stay and get autographs or purchase souvenirs there in the gift shop, that'll be open. We'll have buses leaving throughout the evening, but that is a late night. I think the earliest you'd be back to the hotel would probably be about 11:30.
Yeah.
The last bus will probably return to the hotel about 12:30 or 1. But that's just a spectacular event that afternoon and evening.
So if you've ever dreamed about going down the landing area of a ski jump, you can see it right there. She's doing that on the tube. My heart starts to race just looking at that picture. I think that would be a lot of fun.
And the zip lines are a lot of fun as well.
Okay, on Thursday afternoon, we are going to go to, this is the place, Heritage Park. This is an area where you can learn how the pioneers lived when they first came into Salt Lake. There are older homes and buildings there with people in them that can show you the games that they played, what they did when they went to school, the chores that they had to do, just how they lived. There's also a splash pad there. It can be a lot of fun. A Native American village. There's treats that you can get, ice cream, donuts, lots of fun things. We will have a really good time there. Again, we'll be leaving the hotel about 2:30. This park's only about 15 or 20 minutes away from downtown, so it won't take us too long to get up there. We'll spend a couple of hours there. The park closes at 5 o'clock. At that point, at 5 o'clock, we're going to head to the west end of the park to a place called Brigham Young's Farmhouse. You'll see that as the buses go into the park. It's on the left-hand side. Just walk down there, and we're going to have TestOut's Fiesta. The Fiesta is a tradition with the TestOut conference. It's the way that we end every single one. The owner of our company, Noel Vallejo, wants to share his culture with you. And so we end with this Fiesta. It will be a great meal. We'll have entertainment, just a fun way to end the conference time. So we look forward to sharing that with you, the whole conference. I think it will be great.
It is great. And I think on that Fiesta, we'll need to know that they can just show up in the clothes that they wore. This is the place. They don't need to worry about going back to the hotel to change.
Right.
Walkovers, if you're in shorts, whatever. That's perfectly acceptable.
Yeah, it will be a casual evening, and we'll just walk straight down from the park. It will be great. If you have any questions, some of you might have been putting in questions throughout the webinar. We'll take questions and answers now. We'll see what we can do to answer them for you. This is just a quick list of things that you'll want to bring with you depending on the activities that you're doing. Good shoes, of course, if you're hiking or going to be riding the e-bikes at Antelope Island. You want to make sure that you have sunscreen, a hat, sunglasses with you. It is a lot easier to get sunburned here because of the high altitude, so please remember to bring sunscreen. It does get chilly up the canyons and up at Park City, so make sure that you have a jacket with you. We want you to stay warm, especially when we're watching the Flying Aces at Utah Olympic Park. You want to be comfortable for that. Bring money for souvenirs. There is the gift shop up at the Utah Olympic Park. There are things at This Is the Place as well. If you choose not to go on any of the activities that we have offered, there's lots of other things to do in Salt Lake and shopping close by, so make sure you're aware of that. We will provide a lot of water bottles, whatever activity that you choose to do, but if you've got a favorite, please bring that with you and keep it filled, and be prepared to have a great time. You are going to love it, and we are so excited to welcome you here.
We're looking forward to it. I hope you come and have fun.
I think it'll be a great time. We have a list here of some useful websites for you guys. A lot of these are from the different activities that we're going to be doing. So if you want to do some more research to see some more of the activities that will be offered there, or to learn more about the places, we also have at the second one to the bottom, that's that ride UTA. That is for the light rail or the track system. So that's how you can figure out how to get from the hotel to the airport and vice versa. And we have Carolyn Landon. Her email address is included right there. If you have any questions or concerns, if you have any dietary needs or physical disabilities, wheelchair or walker, crutches, please go ahead and email her so that we can accommodate and make sure that you can have a pleasant experience. After this webinar, we'll go ahead and send you a recording and also a survey. The survey is just going to ask you what activity options you're interested in, how many people you're bringing, just to help us be better prepared.
And I will answer your questions hopefully within the same day that you ask, no later than the next day. I'll get back to you as fast as I can, but I'm happy to help you out with any concerns you have.
We want to point out that we'll have a table at both the welcome dinner and after the conference to answer questions about additional activities you can do in Utah. You may be aware that Utah has 5 national parks, 8 national monuments, number of national recreation areas, and within a short drive of Salt Lake, just 4 or 5 hours, you can go to Yellowstone National Park, Glacier National Park, Grand Teton National Park, Great Basin National Park. So we are right in the middle of a lot of fun places to go and things to do.
That is true. It will be wonderful. We're happy to take your questions now if you've got questions that you want to have answered.
Okay, so we're just taking a look. What type of arrangements have been made for teens who are joining activities without an adult?
That's a really good question, and I know that we have some people coming without an adult. We do have activities that are appropriate. The only activity that you are required to have an adult with you is Antelope Island. Coming to the museum, going to Temple Square, going on the canyon hikes. A teenager's welcome.
Of course, the afternoon activities they can go on without an adult. It's
Right.
really just Antelope Island we're concerned about.
Right.
Antelopes.
Yeah, it does. I hope that answers your question, but you're welcome to come on any of those other ones. We will have TestOut employees on each of those activities, as well as a medical person who can help if there's any concerns.
Asked, will there be sign-up sheets? When can we request places?
With the survey that we'll be sending out, one reason that we're doing that is so that we can get a general idea of how many people want to go on each one. That will help us arrange transportation. The activities for both Wednesday and Thursday morning are the same. So if you can let us know which day you would prefer to do an activity as well as which ones you want to do, that would be helpful for us. We do recognize that sometimes things change. So the choices that you make on the survey, once you get here, you might have to do something different. Just let us know. When you come into the hotel and register and check in for the conference, there will be a table there, like Dan mentioned, where we will have lists that you can sign up on for the specific activities. But we are hoping to get an idea before that so we can have transportation arranged.
But again, we're flexible on those. If you decide at the last minute to make a change, we're certainly okay with that.
So somebody had asked, are there options for Thursday morning? Carolyn answered that there are the same options Wednesday and Thursday. And if you choose that you want to do one activity both days, that's okay too. If you want to go to the museum both days, or if you want to go to Antelope Island both days, that's totally fine. But they are the same options for both mornings. Will Antelope Island be available later in the day for us?
Really not. You could go up to Antelope Island on your own after the conference, or I guess take Uber up there. But in the afternoon, we have the Olympic Park planned one day, and this is the Place Heritage Park the next day.
That's true. The other activities that we're planning are just specifically in the morning, but you're welcome to go off and do those things on your own if you would like to.
Somebody asked if we could talk about activities for the participants. I'm wondering if they're meaning the instructors that are coming.
Well, this is often a problem because TestOut plans a lot of fun activities, and people that are going on the morning activities send pictures back to the instructors who are in the conference in the morning, and Unfortunately, no, if you're in the conference in the morning, you won't be able to obviously go on the morning activities, but you can go on the afternoon activities. I hope that answers that question. We get asked that a lot because people miss out on those fun morning activities.
You just need to come back to Salt
Yeah.
Lake and do all those morning activities again.
They got the weekends.
Yeah.
And the weekends, if you're coming early or staying late after the
Come early or
conference.
stay late. A lot of fun things to do around Utah.
And we've only picked a few. We've just barely scratched the surface of things to do in Utah.
Okay, someone asked, will we need additional funds for the activities? For example, bobsledding or rope course, the e-bikes?
That is a good question. No, it's all covered by TestOut, all those activities. The only money you would need is if you wanted to buy some souvenirs. But as far as the e-bikes and all the activities at the Olympic Park, it's all covered by TestOut for you and your family.
When will we get a conference schedule?
You can see the conference schedule on the conference website right now. You can look at that. And when you come to check in, you'll receive a complete schedule there at the registration desk. But right now, the best way to see a conference schedule is to look at the website. The presentations are still being worked out. We've had some changes there that we've needed to do. The activities are on there, and you'll be able to see what those are if you go to that website.
We're just looking at a few more of these. I think we've about wrapped it up.
With the TestOut Fiesta on Thursday, we'll be done with that by 7 or 8 o'clock. And so if you want to go up and see the canyons or any other areas, you can do that after the Fiesta as well, but that would be on your own. But you would have time to do that if you want to go later into the evening.
Yeah, the Fiesta's at the mouth of Emigration Canyon, which is actually the canyon the first pioneers came down in the Salt Lake Valley.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys have any more questions, please feel free to reach out to Carolyn or to any of your account executives or account managers. Any of us would be happy to answer those. We will be sending out this recording as well as the survey right after, so please be looking for that, and we'd love to hear your feedback. And thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you. Come
Thank
by our
you.
table. Yeah.
Look forward to meeting you.